to make sure it's part of our performance contracting. And I think even the conservators who are here, the national administration, you know that is part of our performance contracting. We need to plant a certain number of trees. The president wants about 15 billion trees planted in the next almost 10 years. But we can even plant more. Even when they tell you that your section is supposed to only plant 5,000, we have changed our strategy. We now plant more. If you can get 20,000, plant. So I have already talked to my staff. You can see they are all here, and we want to support. We have several of our own state corporations under the ministry, so it needs all of us to supply seedlings and a plant. So we need a lot of cooperation across the board, and that's why we are here as national government, and we really applaud the local people for coming to participate in this exercise. People see the greater good of looking after seedlings. They will support. So the first line of defense shouldn't be just about reporting, but involving local communities to tell them the value of seedlings. If you do that, you will not need a fence here. They will look after the seedlings. And encourage the young people who are here, because in our arrangement that I have just instructed our staff to engage in, we are not going to buy seedlings from Kaptakat. Ask our young people to produce seedlings so that we can buy. So, and tell them that those seedlings of theirs, they will be very proud when they move around here and they realize that those seedlings came from their garden, and they are the nurseries, and they are the ones that now have created a forest. So it is also potentially a money-making venture for our young people around here. So who is this destroying the seedlings?
Mimi ndio waziri wa mazingira, maji na mabadiliko ya tabia nchi. Siku hii ya leo tuko hapa katika uwanja wa Nyantrago kupanda miti. Shukuru kwa vile watu wetu, hata kama nchi ni ndogo sana, ardhi yetu ni kidogo kulinganisha na kaunti zingine, lakini wameng'ang'ana kweli kweli na wameweza kupanda miti, na tuko at a rate of 26.6% of tree planting, which is good, na forest cover ikiwa 15.06%. Hiyo tunasema tuko sawa, na tutaweza hata tukamaliza hiyo our target before even hiyo 10 years iishe.
The most important thing to take into account here is to understand why we are doing this exercise, engaged in this exercise. If you look at the Kenya Kwanza administration, it has several pillars. We have a pillar on housing and settlement, we have food security, we have medium and small enterprise groups. These are the groups that would still do business by selling our seedlings. They are small and medium enterprise, in fact small. Then you have universal health care and the information superhighway. But we have added the sixth one, which is climate change and environment. So if you understand those are the pillars, and they were the basis for the campaign by His Excellency, the President of the Republic, we think we can change our country by giving more attention to those pillars. Those are our priority areas. Now, if you realize, His Excellency, the President, has been very, very instrumental in directing the attention of the rest of the world to Africa's environmental crisis. Our rivers are drying up. Water sources, including Congo forest, are being damaged by human activity. Certain places in Africa have become dumping grounds. The industrial north has been emitting a lot of dangerous gases into the atmosphere, which have actually served to destroy the ozone layer, which is the basis of oxygen in the atmosphere. Now, at our own level here, you can see we are destroying rivers. We plant crops up to the river banks. When it rains, all the soil goes. Where the sources of rivers are, we have started doing quarrying there. We have completely destroyed many sources of water. Some of the rivers that were permanent 20, 30 years ago have become seasonal. I think that is the crisis. Now, what is the impact of this? if the ozone layer, for example, is damaged and it is perforated, the sun's rays come direct to our bodies. And what it's going to do is that governments in Africa are going to spend a lot of money on health care, because diseases that never used to be rampant in our communities, such as cancer, kidney problems, liver problems, these diseases will have started escalating. Some of them don't have a straight cure. Part of the cure could easily come from some of the trees we are planting. We have just planted a tree which we have been told locally can deal with become a remedy. It's a remedy for prostate cancer. So some of the trees we are destroying actually are medicine, and enough research should go into that. So the first thing is to have a huge program to plant trees, some of them which are used for timber, some can be used for fuel if we can, and some can be used as medicine.
Na kweli kufanya huu mradi wa kupanda miti, ndio maana tuko hapa, na kama sisi Kisii County tutakuwa tukifanya hii mradi ya kupanda miti kila mwezi, na sisi hapa kwetu tutakuwa tukifanya every Tuesday, every third Tuesday of the month. Na kwa hivyo tutakuwa kila mahali pale tutakuwa tumetambua pale tutaweza panda miti, na bado tumeendelea na tumepanda miti kama fruit trees, na ninataka kuchukua huu muda kuwahimiza wetu ya kwamba kuna miti ambayo huwa tunapanda sisi kama county government, na watu wetu pia wanang'oa wanapeleka, na kama mnang'oa mnaenda kupanda mahali na mnachunga ni sawa, lakini inatakikana ya kwamba pale tumeweka, pale tumetenga ya kupanda miti ni vizuri ikae, na kama kuna haja ya hiyo miti, sisi kama county government kuna njia yenye tunapeana hiyo miti ya kwenda kupanda. Kama sasa saa hii tuko na hasha avocados, ni moja yao ya miti ambayo inatakikana kupandwa, iko na tuko nayo, imepandwa hapo ATC, tuko tayari kupeana. Our governor ameweza kusubsidize hiyo miti kabisa kwa wakulima wetu. Sasa wanachukua kwa half of the price.
Young people who are involved in the seedlings, even this area, to form small groups to look after the because even if you are to supervise movement, suppose we cover the whole of this area, it is not humanly possible to monitor if the community is not participating. So really I plead with the community around here, some of wazee wetu wako hapa, ninawaomba kabisa mwambie vijana kwamba hii kazi ambayo tunafanya ni kazi ya muhimu sana kwa taifa letu. Kwa hivyo kama Kisii iko na miti, Kenya iko na miti, ndio tunataka hawa vijana ambao wanazalisha miche, tunataka muambie kwamba wawe ndio vijana wa kulinda miche, na jamii yote ya hapa ilinde hii miche, ili hii miche iweze kukua na iweze kuongeza sehemu ambazo tuko na miti mingi katika Kenya. Sasa si kazi ya mtu mmoja, si kazi ya polisi, si kazi ya chief, ni kazi ya kila mtu, na wale viongozi ambao wamechaguliwa katika sehemu hii yetu pia watusaidie ili tuchunge hii miche.
My concern that I had that last year we were here, we planted trees and it was even fenced, but there was, as you can see, there is no fence, there's no trees. The only thing I want to ask those in charge is that if we want this program to succeed, we must involve